What's up, everybody? This guy is batshit crazy. But he's also one of the smartest guys I watch on the YouTube. Let me tell you. Lincoln Square Leonidas, props to you, brother. I am a big fan of learning from you. Everybody that creates content. I love learning from you guys. And what I really love is being entertained while I learn. Let me tell you a little bit about Lincoln Square Leonidas. I'm not going to ruin his gig, but he gets some of the craziest shit on the court record you've ever heard.
I just worked on the assumption that the order from the Supreme Court had been signed. I admit that I had no authority to do that whatsoever.
But you had made a ruling prior to that outside of your jurisdiction, Your Honor.
I did, right? I'm confessing.
Gotta go back and watch his channel. Plus, he puts in a ton of effort in the back-end production of his videos. They're stupid as shit. I'm a big fan of stupid, so big fan of Lincoln Square Leonidas. But when I say big fan of stupid, I don't mean intellect. This man is well-spoken and he knows the law. You should too. Take notes from him. Enjoy the video.
Hey, we got the judge to recuse himself.
The Recusinator.
And on our way out from court, we got another win with some great footage.
No, we are not in charge of the courts.
You're not in charge of supervising
Are
them?
you filming me right now?
Yeah,
Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
Thanks.
I know it is. Have a
No,
good
it's
one.
fine. Hey, have a good one.
Thanks for your support.
Talk to the judge, bro.
That's County Commissioner Marty Qualley. By Commonwealth law, he's in charge of the common courts. And here he is enacting an expert portrayal on how small town corruption happens.
Yeah, thanks for your support.
No problem. Thanks for your service, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for allowing your county to stab me after returning. There's nothing in this courthouse worth peeing on? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying even a dog wouldn't piss on this courthouse? Is that what you're saying, buddy? Like, you can't even find anything worth peeing on. This whole entire courthouse up here. Thanks, buddy. You said it all right there.
I can't make that up. That was 3 back-to-back wins at the courthouse. But a lot of work went in on the front end of that to get that judge to recuse himself. Sun Tzu, the author of The Art of War. Every battle is won or lost before it is fought. So what the state was trying to do here was install the same judge that hid the real estate racket that we were covering as press, that we got arrested for covering as press, to oversee our criminal case for getting arrested for covering the real estate racket perpetrated by the state. This pre-trial hearing we're having is important. This hearing is about what I'm going to be allowed to show the jury. And the Attorney General already motioned to suppress everything, to include the warrant she took out to break into my phone for trespassing, where they actually wiped my phone, showing it walk out of the evidence and into the president of the county bar's office. Judge Maidenspacher was the one that the state installed to make that real estate racket go away in the first place. So how do you think he's going to rule, being appointed over our case, exposing the real estate racket that he was appointed over to make it go away for the state in the first place? So we got to get rid of this planet judge. And I'm not a lawyer, I'm a combat engineer. We engineer the battlefield to amplify our strengths and magnify our opponent's weaknesses. My one strength in the courtroom is judge disqualification.
The Recusinator.
Not only did we already disqualify Judge Maslin, but we also wrote up a 70-page Superior Court appeal for that, which got ignored. But we learned a lot about recusal law and ended up getting Maslin disqualified in a different way. So what we did was engineer a downward spiral into Dante's Inferno of recusal motions. Our first motion for disqualification was the first layer of hell. It's pretty damning, but I mostly maintained courtroom etiquette and didn't go full gonzo. Basically, I motioned to disqualify him for the appearance of impropriety under Judicial Code of Conduct 2.11. I cite 2 things. One is him actually having made a ruling before he's assigned jurisdiction to this case. Funny enough, this is such a judicial no-no that absolute immunity doesn't even apply to this. So I asked him to explain how this came about. The moment he speaks, he's in violation of the Rules of Evidentiary Procedure 605, Judge's Competency as a Witness. Hey, Counselor Kangaroo, show us how this works. It's a trap! The moment he speaks about the reason I motioned to disqualify him, he instantly disqualifies himself in presiding over the matter. Thanks, Counselor. Well, that's a good first shot. But this judge can completely break law and ignore rules of procedure. And I can't appeal his blatant violations of law until I'm in jail after the trial. This is how he hid the real estate racket in the case that we were following. So we descend further into Dante's second layer of recusal motions with Defendant's motion to disqualify Judge Joseph C. Maidenspacher, Part 2, linked below. This one we utilize a pincher movement. One, we bring onto the record of him having finalized the real estate fraud case. And two, pedo protecting Pennsylvania's penchant for picking him to preside over politically connected Pennsylvania pedophiles.
This is Pennsylvania Senator Michael Fulmer, whom voted to increase the mandatory minimum sentences on sex offenders. Here he is receiving Marcy's Defender of Victims' Rights Award, while he's got kiddie porn on the phone in his pocket. The state sets it up for him to plead guilty to 40 years worth of charges, but Pennsylvania insults Judge Maidenspacher to knock it down to less than 2 so that he can avoid a state prison sentence.
So we motion to disqualify him for having already hidden the real estate racket and his penchant for preferentially presiding over politically protected Pennsylvania pedophiles, politically protected pedo Pennsylvania politicians, as our channel is highly critical of pedophile protecting Pennsylvanians.
Hey, you pedophile protecting Pennsylvania policemen! Your faces are covered by masks, but your names are on your shirts.
So he doesn't have to invent reasons to pull me over. I got him a little something that he can remember me by.
All right.
Right there. Trooper Bradley Fulton, the Nambla, Fornwalt, my biggest fanboy. It's a trap! The moment he speaks about the reason I motioned to disqualify him, he instantly disqualifies himself in presiding over the matter.
Haha, okay, Dante's third level of recusal motions. We go full on gonzo with the return of defendant's motion to disqualify Judge Joseph C. Maidenspacher and motion for recusal hearing. In this final installment of this epic trilogy, we lead off with a poem quoting George Orwell's 1984.
Under the spreading chestnut tree, I sold you and you sold me.
That's some cold shit to lead off with. Again, Sun Tzu. In order to secure victory, abnormal tactics must be employed. This motion pulls out all the stops, bringing up 5 different points to recuse the judge for. Each one of these,
it's a trap! The moment he speaks about the reason I motioned to disqualify him, he instantly disqualifies himself in presiding over the matter.
Haha, okay. But we actually had a little help on this one from y'all Spartans at home. We attached your submitted exhibits as public's perception of bias.
Planner Earth Lovers won runner-up with going biblical in Matthew 18-6. But those who shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged around his neck and he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Alright, grand prize went to Spartan Bart Connolly for his perfect poetry. I'm going to try to get through this. Pardon my pedantry, but this pusillanimous prosecution process produced perceptively pernicious procedures provoking police portrayal practically as a paramour of the prosecution. Personal property was ported from protected placement. Plus, prosecution pandered to provinces peripheral for their protection from personal prosecution while promoting piddling processes preventing people from producing their person.
I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty salacious. Sun Tzu, use anger to throw them into disarray.
It's a trap!
The Code of Judicial Conduct states, a judge must not feel that a motion for recusal is an attack on the judge personally. Counselor, lay this all out for us.
The moment the judge takes offense, that's a violation of the Code of Conduct, and we can motion to disqualify him due to that violation. Each one of these motions he denies, we can motion to reconsider, which opens him up for an appeal.
And that's not all. We finish with a motion for a recusal hearing, in which another judge will preside to see if there's bias. This is twofold. One, Judge Maidenspacher will have to take the stand as a witness and be vulnerable to my questions without complete immunity. And two, we're going to have to talk all about this in front of another judge. So all of these salacious exhibits will be gone over in front of one of Judge Maidenspacher's colleagues on the court record. So we filed all this ahead of time before court, so the judge knows what's coming down the pipeline. If, at any moment, he wishes to put a stop to this descent into Dante's inferno of recusal motions, all he has to do is recuse himself. Sun Tzu, a surrounded enemy must be given a way out. So this is the way things stood going into court for our pretrial hearing at 10 a.m. And I'd like to reiterate an earlier point from our buddy General Sun Tzu. Every battle is won or lost before it is fought.
The time is now after 9 o'clock, and as you can see, I'm still not dressed and drinking coffee, being bad. And it's great. Trial's at 10. I'm just going to shoot right in there. That's why I'm not live with this. So I'm actually prepared professionally, which is the last thing they're going to expect. And that's why I'm not doing the kangaroo suit. So I find it really funny that right now it's like after 9 o'clock. The prosecutor's coming from Harrisburg. She's probably had to get up at like 4 to get her face did up and her hair did up and look good for me and all that stuff. So we look forward to seeing you in court, prosecutor Christine Christ.
We're here at the Big Top Adams County Courthouse.
A few moments later. Order of the court, this judge is recusing himself. The recusinator.
Haha, okay. I'm still waiting on the court stenographer's report, but needless to say, Judge Maiden-Spocker stepped in our first trap, peered down the edge into Dante's inferno of recusal motions, and threw in the towel. So when I get this court stenographer's report back, we're going to do a Crank Yankers puppet episode reenacting the hearing.
Puppets? Like, that's so 1980s. Besides, it won't show off all the work I've done on my thighs.
It'll be a lot of fun. But until then, watch wins number 2 and 3 of the day on our way out of the courthouse from that hearing.
You can find something out here to pee on, buddy? I said pee on, not snatch from. There's nothing in this courthouse worth peeing on? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying even a dog wouldn't piss on this courthouse? Is that what you're saying, buddy? Like, you can't even find anything worth peeing on. This whole entire courthouse up here. Thanks, buddy. You said it all right there. Mr. Qualley.
Yes, I bet you have questions about something about
I
the
do.
courts.
I have a card to give you about this court hiding my triple attempted murder and stabbing. Right here. Shows my stab wound. Oh, no, that's not it. This
I've
one.
watched your videos.
Yeah. Well, that's not it either. I got
My
one
answer's
here.
going to be the same. You got to talk to the courts.
Yeah. Well,
We
you're
are
in charge.
literally in charge. No, we are not in charge of the courts.
You're not in charge of supervising
Are
them?
you filming me right now?
Yeah, huh?
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, I know it is. Have a
No,
good
it's
one.
fine. Hey, have a good one.
Thanks for your support.
Talk to the judge, brother.
Yeah, thanks for your support.
No problem. Thanks for your service, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for allowing your county to stab me after returning.
Phoenix 911, where's your emergency?
North Valley Parkway and 31st Avenue. There was a car collision and the other people involved in the crash are getting very aggressive with the cops, with the officer. There's only one officer here. The officer has told the dad and the son to back off multiple times and they're just elevating.
Why 911?
Because he's over there getting aggressive.